I've got basically the house to myself every day. And that hasn't happened in almost a year. And then I guarantee you they're going to put us back on lockdown.
Right.
So I'll get like 2 weeks, you know, or a week, and they're going to throw us all back on lockdown.
All right. The bat signal. Seems like Slack is up now.
Back.
Where is that?
My favorite part of that song.
Slack is stupid. Just let that go. That's good to go. All right, sharing the Facebook, and we'll be good to go. Share now.
Baby.
Let's go to our faces. What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Getting ready to do a show. We got some people here. Mark had his YouTube on 1.5. How does that work on a live stream? Can it see into the future? Or were you cached? It's playing us on 1.5. I'd love to know what we talk about today. Ooh, did you see what Ariev just sent? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're live, so we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we're good. All the people showing up. Awesome. I think we're pretty good. We're ready to roll. We're running a little behind here because apparently there's some gremlins in the internets today. Everything is breaking down. Slack, Todoist, people's servers going slow, and I don't know. Too many gremlins today. Maybe it's sunspots.
I've been too busy, you know, rocking that lights, camera, lasagna that David Ariev.
Right, there you go.
Lights, camera, lasagna.
Chelsea!
Jesse!
Lights, camera, lasagna!
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to bring up my live
Dave, I was
control
really
room.
hoping you'd play Halo last night with me.
I
had to
played
play
for
by
hours.
myself.
You had just left.
Well, yeah, because y'all all play at like midnight. I go to bed at 10.
We played.
I have a child who woke up at
played at, like,
4:45 this
9:30.
morning.
Let's see. Richard, Chris, other Chris, Paul, Jeff, Mark, Todd, Tesla Rock, Kevin, VJ, and Ravioli. What's up?
Ravioli.
He's Ravioli when we play Halo. So.
I gotcha.
All right, let's start rolling on your.
I am
audio
rolling,
recorder
yes.
of
Yep,
choice.
me too.
I am also rolling. We're going to do a sync clap, which will be 1, 2, 3 clap. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. And we're going. We are going. Everybody ready? Let's
Yes.
do this. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today is the super talented Mr. Mitch Myers.
What's going on?
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, show topic ideas, artist suggestions. We're open to everything. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, mograph.com, and all the places. Noob or expert, does not matter. Ask us questions, and we'll try to answer them. The expert ones we might have to call in an expert for.
Yeah.
You know, might have to ask Mitch, might have to ask Octane
Right?
Jesus. You never know. This week...
This is week 2 of all the Mographers from St. Louis.
You're right.
Right?
I know.
Our continuing coverage of
It's
St.
weird.
Louis.
Yeah, our continuing coverage of St. Louis Mographers.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah, Mitch is here, a.k.a. Cool Fire.
Cool Fire. Man, I forgot that. I forgot all about that
sticking.
name.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Chris asked, my tree is still up. It's still up. Didn't have time to take it down, but this is the last show with the Christmas tree up. Gotta get that in storage.
Still gotta do everything in my house too. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
I took down all my my kid loves inflatables. The all the inflatable stuff that you put out in your lawn. He begs me to get them out like months ahead of time, and I'm like, no, because I hate them so much. Like I fought them all season because they some would get unplugged, and then some would get unhooked, and they'd be halfway down the street, and I took them down the day after Christmas. I was like, I do not want these anymore.
Yeah, we have a few of those, and those are going crazy in a few windstorms that we had. We hardly got them safe. It sucked.
Yeah,
and as far as the story on Cool Fire, I figure we could probably tell the story of how that happened. It was just an accidental. It was just like an autocorrect, right?
Yeah,
on the iPhone.
I think it was. Yeah,
you were texting Octane Jesus, and we were gonna meet somewhere, and you responded, and it said Cool Fire instead of whatever you were writing.
Instead of just I was probably just saying cool, whatever, or something like that, and it's like Cool Fire.
And it stuck.
Stupid as shit.
And then and then we actually got the T-shirts.
We made shirts
made with the Mitch mustache. Back when you had the mustache and it said Cool Fire.
Yeah.
We got them made in Chicago same day.
Same day.
When you showed up, we had the shirts.
That was aggressive.
Yeah, we're like.
That was.
Yeah,
that was a fun one. That was a fun one. That was a neat little Airbnb we had.
That was
one.
right when things were starting
that was fun.
to take off really big in the Mograph, what would you call it? In the Mograph events industry. And, things really starting to move, and I miss it. I miss it a lot.
Yeah, I miss it so much.
I
was looking at trips to Vegas. Because I got this sweet stimulus money now, so I'm looking at trips that I can afford with this $600 that I got from the government. But Vegas right now, dude, you can go stay at the Wynn for with flight and hotel. You can stay at the Wynn for $300. It's nothing.
That's tight.
But you gotta wear a mask everywhere you go. Which is fine, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
it'd be kind of cool if it's empty.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
We'll be doing that again soon enough. Those were the good times. The last time I think we saw you, Mitch, was at Half Res, at the last Half Res.
Yeah. Is that the last one?
Yeah. Got to chat briefly.
I mean, it should have been 2 ago, but
Right.
Yeah.
Also, in the week wrap-up stuff here, speaking of Octane Jesus, congrats, David Ariev, for lights, camera, lasagna.
You made it.
Today,
you did it.
You did it.
We're proud of you.
That's a lot of work. And
and what's great is what is great about it is, they started a Slack channel for it in our Slack,
right?
And there's 20 of us or so in there. And they're all the ones who are taking it are they've been in the industry for a while, but it's it's so cool to see that there are so many established professionals also wanting to take this course. It just goes to show the quality of Ariev's work.
That's true, man.
Yeah, we were talking about it when we were playing Halo, and it's you've got all these high-end Mographers taking the course. And these TAs, these poor TAs that graduated from high school 3 years ago, they're gonna not know what to say.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see some of the work that comes out of it.
Not
honestly.
all the TAs. Luis is a TA in there.
Yeah.
But some of them, it's gonna be funny.
Some of them,
It's gonna get. I don't know if it's Luis who was talking about that, or somebody was talking about to be a TA having to critique. I don't know.
Right.
Who's taking it? Who's somebody that's taking it?
I think Hoodass is taking it, isn't he?
Maybe. Yeah. It'd be I don't think you did a very good job on your composition, Hoodass.
It's here, let me show you a reference of an image that I think is really good for this, and it's one of his renders.
Right. Yeah. I think it's going to be really spectacular because you're just seeing these amazing artists taking this amazing course, and what they're going to show that they've done out of it is just going to be so great. So
yeah,
looking forward to that. And
I'm excited to see, like, because man, I was rewatching Ariev's little short film for like the last little bit of it, and I was in awe yesterday. I was watching it. I'm like, this. I don't know. I don't know why he's doing what he's doing. He needs to be just making short films all the time,
right?
Because he's so good, so good. I feel privileged to be his friend.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I feel privileged to have slept in a tent in his stairs.
That's funny. Yeah. So when you're done with taking that course, you can check out one of our courses. Stop being afraid of Houdini, or you can check out the AR crash course, or like David said he's going to do when he's done doing his course, the first thing he's going to do is check out creating the Unreal, so he can learn a little bit more about Unreal Engine. So
I'm excited about the Houdini. Mark's been going through the entire course, for those who don't know, and updating it for he's starting now to update it for 18.5, which is awesome. So
completely revamping some of these chapters. He sent me an entire spreadsheet list of what he's doing, and I got my work cut out for me. I got a lot of work to do to get that up there. But the cool thing too is that Windbush is doing the same thing. He's doing updates for 4.26 right now. He's currently recording, so these courses stay updated as they go. You get lifetime access. When things update, they update in there. You can go back and you did the Houdini course already? All right, now you can go do it again. You've already got it. You go back through it and learn 18.5. It's just ever-evolving course. So check that out. And that's coming soon. And hopefully Mark will start on an additional course after that. We'll see.
Yeah,
we're trying to get that going. But he might need a little break after this update. And then the last thing on the list is we've updated the website finally. A little bit. It's majorly updated, but it only looks slightly different. And
it doesn't look like we've done much, but it is. It was a huge update for Dave. Not
I spent the last 4 days doing the server exchange and the getting everything moving, the DNS stuff. So some of you might have had some weirdness with DNS. Bringing up weird errors and things the last couple days, but hopefully everybody's DNS is cleared and you can see it now. Everything's organized a little bit better. It's a lot snappier. Mainly for us, it was about redoing the whole back end so that the upgrades that we have planned for later this year will actually work well.
It's amazing. It's going to be so good.
Some of it's already built. Some of it's being built right now. And this update for us, this is where we've put our money from these courses, is into this and into the upcoming updates for the community. And so we feel like it was definitely worth it. It was a lot of money, but it's going to work so well moving forward. So so check that out there. We got some videos and things coming out. I'm still working slowly on my course, and got a little video that I'm putting together on keyframes, on what is a keyframe, that maybe some of you will be able to share with your friends who are thinking about getting into the industry. It's not like anything new. It's not anything that nobody doesn't know, I'm sure, who listens to the show. You know what a keyframe is, but it's a way of explaining it, I think, for maybe your friends.
I would hope that you would know what a keyframe is.
I would hope you would, yes.
I do everything procedurally. Everything
it's all simulations, all dynamics. That's
it.
Everything in After Effects is expressions.
So hopefully I'll get that out this week or next. I'm slowly editing it. It's kind of a big undertaking. It ended up being 7 minutes long, and I was like, oh man, that's a lot of editing and graphics.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those YouTube-y videos, and there's a lot of After Effects involved in that stuff.
Yeah.
Green screening. Real quick, though, I wanted to go to Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
And wanted to, first of all, talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, because y'all have, listening, probably all have cards capable of Bitcoin mining, and it's never been easier.
I use it's very worth it right now with the price of Bitcoin. I use a program called NiceHash Miner, And when you install it, it basically straight up your computer says this is a virus. I'm not going to download this or install it.
It probably
but then you have to kind of. It may be. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I've got real money going into my my Coinbase account, so
there you go.
I'm good there. But it's nice. Like, yeah, these 3090s, man, they're sweet. They're making the cost estimate or whatever is like $20 a day, which doesn't seem like much, but if you're not using your computer and you can just set it to go and you can make a couple bucks here and there, it's pretty nice. And the downside it was previously when the price for Bitcoin was lower was that electricity costs, it offset how much you were making. But I did the calculator, and here in Texas we are able to choose whichever electricity company we want to use. So powertochoose.org or something like that. So you just choose the cheapest one. I went for like cheapest and renewable. So I'm paying like 7 cents per kilowatt hour, which is like nothing. So I can make on these two 3090s, I can make like $22 a day, and it costs me only $1 in electricity costs, which is awesome, And but the great thing about these 3090s, they're so quiet, They're actually a lot quieter than my other machine with a 2080 and a 2070 Super, and they stay so cool. I've got open air. I don't do any like liquid cooling or anything. I've got open air, and there's like a half a slot gap or 1 slot gap in between the two, but they haven't gotten above 62 degrees the entire time, which is awesome, for air cooling,
Yeah.
But the other ones I had to actually, my other computer I had to limit because it was getting up to like 86, and I was like, oh no, that's too high.
Well,
so
Bitcoin
I brought down like 7.
Went from like 20 to 30,000 in like a week.
Yeah, I think it's
Ethereum is skyrocketing, like over what was it, 1,000?
Ethereum just hit over 1,000, which is pretty nice. Yeah, EJ was complaining the other day because when he put like 3 pieces of his art up for crypto sale or whatever, and he got paid in Ethereum. It was like, oh man, like the next day he like lost money from what he originally sold it. And so I was texting him, I was like, hey, you didn't like cash out, did you? He's like, nah, I'm up a lot. It's like, okay, that's good.
Yeah. Mitch, are you doing crypto art? I feel like you would be all over crypto art.
Yeah, I feel like you would.
I don't know. Like, I don't know shit about it, really. I don't know how any of that, like, mining stuff works. I have no clue.
Yeah, but crypto art, you only have to, like, set up an account and show, like, what you've done before. And, like, I feel like...
and just, like, put it out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
You can apply...
I feel like that is right up your alley.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah.
It was something to think about,
I think like EJ and David the other day, I'm surprised Mitch isn't all over this, because you've got a portfolio to show. Like, I don't have any art to show. I've got client work for days and nothing I could even show for a portfolio and be like, what,
I don't think I could sell one of my explainer videos as crypto art. Or one of my preparation H commercials.
Yeah.
Sell it as like avant-garde art.
Right.
Right.
It'll work.
Yeah, the diagrams of the anus.
Anus,
Someone will buy it.
Yeah, somebody will buy it. They buy anything. There's some art that is actually on these crypto art channels now that is it's called trash art, and it's purposely
garbage.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like you could, you've got such a great portfolio and you've got so many pieces out there. Like, somebody would definitely pick you up if you try to go out there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it more later, but like you going into like just kind of doing your own thing, what you want to do, I feel like you could really make some cool stuff to put out there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it could be cool. Like, this year I've been basically unwilling to make any moves.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year. I haven't really like done much. And it's this next year I'll probably just focus on a lot of other things besides art and creating things and seeing like if I can get my like medical condition stuff in a different situation, because it's at a point to where like I can't focus enough on client work and every day is so different, so I can't really like really book things out with any sort of certainty. So
Yeah,
it's
I
gotten to
get
the
that.
point to where I can't really even take clients on and really say that I'm going to be able to get it done by the deadline and all that stuff, just because of my issues that I'm dealing with. So I'm almost like forced to just like chill.
Yeah, well, you've got chronic pain. For those who don't know, you've got kind of like chronic pain issues.
Yeah, right? It's still undiagnosed, which is like it's a real like shit show with doctors right now, because it's always an issue between what type of insurance you have and stuff, which is always weird because, you know, we're self-employed and all that jazz.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, like there's so many different types of specialists. And when it comes to like chronic pain, it could be like a billion different things.
Right.
And so it's just been like a crazy, crazy long process. But yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, because that makes it difficult for you to schedule ahead of time for any, you know, like you said, for any clients to have like a specific deadline. And I imagine that that applies across the board to, and I will probably relate this a lot to all sorts of other reasons why it's hard, especially, God, 2020, last year, to get anything done. It's like, you know, if you are dealing with chronic pain, if you're dealing with things like depression, for example, and I know a lot of people
burnout,
depression, anxiety, issues at home. A lot of people dealing with issues at home that they don't talk about, and all that stuff can make it so hard to be creative, let alone get something done for a client or be creative for a client and get something done at a deadline. For you, I noticed, you know, you posted a couple things on Facebook the last few weeks, and one of them was just you're kind of burnt out on some of this, and you're having concentration problems and things. So, what would you say you'd like to do when you can? Like, what would be your ideal situation if you're dealing with what you're dealing with right now? Are you looking to just kind of do things that are creative, just for art's sake rather than client stuff?
Yeah, like right now, I basically, so this has been like the issue for ever since this pain thing got to a point where it's debilitating, which has been probably like the past 3 years, I would say, has gotten to a weird points where I've been in like wheelchairs and crap like that. And so I haven't really been able to even focus on what I see my future as anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Because since no one has been able to tell me what this is yet, I don't know if, like, down the line, if I should plan on not being able to move very well, or if I should plan on just being like a normal dude again. And it, like, not having that goal out in the future to look to and like create kind of like this drive to get there, like I feel really lost.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's just like I'm failing, I guess, in like the client side because of the issues that I'm trying to like battle with and stuff like that. And so it sucks because I really liked that side of it. Like I really liked having like, you know, like my clients and dealing with them all the time and taking on all the different projects and dealing with all like the ups and downs and issues. Like that was really interesting, and it was something that I saw myself like doing for a long time. So with this like randomness, it's kind of like, what do I even do now? Do I keep working towards this even though it may not be viable in the future, I guess? Or should I focus on just being like a stay-at-home dad, maybe? Because that's maybe like what I'll only be able to do almost. So yeah, I just basically told myself that I'm taking this next year off. Nice. I don't know if it's going to be the full year or what. It's just kind of depending on what happens. I'm with like a new doctor now for like the millionth time, but hopefully this one is like the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like dating someone. Yeah, dude, this one's the one.
It's like, oh my god. It's so this summer at least I'm going to just like not do shit. I'm just going to like do yoga hardcore.
Nice.
And like keep doing my meditating, and I'm on like super strict diets and stuff like that. Like this whole process has kind of changed who I am without me really being able to have any say in it, you know?
Yeah.
But some things have, I guess there's some positives. Like my nutrition is like really, really good now. Just because we've had to, you know, knock that out to see if there was anything, you know, messing with me there. And yeah, so I just need to chill and hopefully see some progress maybe, or like a light at the end of the tunnel at least, especially from the doctor's side, because I haven't been given anything as far as good news or anything like that really when
like
it comes to this.
So direction or anything.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of like been sitting in limbo for a long time.
I can imagine how frustrating that is.
Yeah,
like,
especially
I mean, I've thought to myself, like, for example, what would I do if I got in a car accident and I lost both of my arms? You know,
I always think about what if I went blind.
What if I went blind? Right?
Yeah.
What if you're a colorist and you went blind? You know, or you're an artist and you lose your hands? It's like, like that. And I can imagine what's going through your head. That's got to be awful. You know,
it's incredibly like frustrating because it's so up and down too. Like some mornings, I'll just be in like a normal achy pain, you know, like, but I can handle it, you know, I can kind of like stretch it out, walk around, and I can get through the day. But then some days, like, I'm like almost tripping going up the stairs because my legs won't like lift up far enough and stuff like that. Like it gets like scary, and it's just like I don't know really what to do day to day. So it's just like I just need an answer, or at least like a direction, like something showing that we should go in a certain direction to like solve this or whatever. Because like that'll take away like a lot of issues that I'm dealing with that just stem from having to deal with this. There's like loneliness and depression. So
much unknown that you don't know. Yeah.
And I feel almost like trapped in like the shell of your own body, and there's nothing to really do about it. And it's just like, it's awful.
And how do you create art with that?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, like
it's like
how am I supposed to...
creating art is like the last thing on your mind when you're trying to, you know, deal with so much else, you know.
And with all the things going on in the world, and anxiety and politics and all the things at the same time, it's hard to get in that zone. I mean, I don't have obviously near the pain issues at the level you have, but I have some chronic pains. And when that mixes with frustration, with anxiety, with procrastination, with you know, money worries and everything else, and you sit down at a computer, there are very little moments where you're like in that zone. You know, that zone. You know, when you get there, it's like a weird time. And I wish I could remember who said this. It might have been Devin Sloan on Facebook this week. It's like, you know, that time at like 10:30 at night when you sit down and you're like, I'll just work on this for a minute. And then suddenly it's been 3 hours and you totally like got into something.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes you wish you could just turn that on anytime you want. And it just
wouldn't that be great?
You know what I mean? And it's hard to find those places. Is there anything that you found that does help you at least to get up another level in your concentration, or help you? Like what has helped you so far is my question.
Yeah, like there has not been a whole lot. Like the number one thing though, like has been my wife is so amazing and successful and just like supported me through this past year and has been willing to support me through this next year trying to figure this stuff out. And she's able to take on, you know, all of the stuff that I have to now, like, unfortunately put on her shoulders, which is another, like, you know, shitty thing that
Guilt,
always pops up in your head. Yeah.
Right. But it's great to have support like that.
Yeah, it's such a double-edged sword because, like, I don't want it to happen to her. But, like, man, it's also, like, not my fault either. Yeah. This pain thing. So that it sucks. It's, like, also frustrating because, like, if I was in like a dirt bike crash or something like that, I could at least point to somebody and be like, yeah, I was an idiot.
Right.
But I was just like,
can't say, I clicked the mouse way too many times.
You know. What's up with this? So.
Yeah, and I think I think it's good for people to just know that it's not like what you see on Instagram and Facebook. And we talk about this every once in a while, and the whole on stage and backstage persona. That everybody's in backstage mode at all times, but they're only putting out the on stage, you know, front and center stuff onto Instagram, Facebook, and all the things, and it gets frustrating seeing everybody is posting things, you know. If you follow 1,000 people and somebody posts something every day, then you're like, wow, how is everybody posting every day? You know, it's just kind of a weird mentality, but there's so much going on with people's lives that you don't know, and I think it's good for people to know that this is the reality. This is the reality. What we're talking about is what just about everybody faces in one form or another. You know, whether it's emotional or physical or whatever it is. Now, some people have an easier time than others. I wish I had time for dailies and things, you know, every day. Some people are able to get into that state more than others, I think, but they still have issues as well. Something you and I talked about off air before we started the show was about like what it also does to you as far as your emotional state, as far as depression and things like that. And I was hoping that maybe you could comment on that a little bit and maybe give a little advice to people who are going through that.
Yeah, it's like it's a very weird place to be in. Like when you have no options, or you at least feel like there's no options for you at the time. No one's giving you any answers. There's nothing you can really do about your situation other than, you know, change your mindset. But that's so much easier said than done. It's there's so much attacking you that is invisible. It's like the shadows in your mind that it like really makes your day-to-day feel really gray. And that's like the best way I can describe like the depression part is just like everything is like just gray. There's this blandness, and it got to like a really, really bad point. The beginning of this last year, so my stepfather ended up passing from it was also like a shitty situation because he's been dealing with that since he was like 26, I think. And he's gone through a bunch of different kidneys and dialysis and all that stuff. And so I ended up moving him and my mother into my house now because they were having like financial troubles and stuff like that. Because, you know, all the dialysis stuff and stuff gets crazy expensive. I'm sure you can imagine. But it was like almost everything is kind of like a double-edged sword because I got to see him wither away in some way, but I was also with him, which is a good thing. But it was really a weird process to see him go through his last surgery. And I think he should have stayed in his in his room for longer and healed up, but like hospital beds need to be filled and stuff like that. So he came home to heal, and that didn't end up working out. And he basically, just got really skinny and stuff like that. And we had hospice in the house. And like the day he died, like I carried him into his bed and stuff like that. Like it was like the heaviest day ever.
Yeah.
And so like it was almost like too many things were just like building up, like at that point it was just like, why? Like is there anything else that's like going to make this a positive like life for me, like at that time you can't really see it. Like right. I have a beautiful wife and a beautiful daughter, but like when you're trapped in yourself so deeply, you don't feel the things you should feel when you like are with those people.
Yeah, I get you.
When
I get you.
3 years ago, I was at my lowest point. And I don't know how much of that really came through on the show.
Did, a lot. Not through the show.
Well,
it did.
With
it
me
did
and
through
you, of course.
With me and you, yeah.
Because
we
were close.
That was
and talking. All the time,
and and I get it because it was hard for our relationship.
Yeah.
As weird as that is, like that when someone's going through that, like I don't know.
But I felt like my description of it and the gray thing makes sense too.
Absolutely.
But my description of it was always that I was in the pit of a hole, like at the bottom of a hole, and it was going deeper and deeper. And the only way that I could get out of it is to make myself climb out of it, and I didn't know how to do that. It was. And again, that's the thing. Like the emotions just go away. Everything turns off. You're numb to everything. And I mean, I didn't particularly have any suicidal thoughts, but I know lots of people do in that situation. That's something.
I've been there.
Yeah,
it's a weird place to be in because you don't want to be there, but you also just don't want this. You're done. But like that point is so. It's when you look at everything else, when you finally get out of that, at least for a second, and get to breathe for a second, you're like, okay, that's not as real as it felt. You know what I mean? Like,
What helps you in that? What helps you to kind of dig out of that a little bit?
Really, just like going through a ton of pain, like mental like anguish, just talking and crying and just like yelling and just like figuring it out, you know what I mean? Like there's not much you can really do when it comes to that state of depression because you're not going to be able to solve it in a clean way, you know what I mean?
There's no like logical like push this button and everything's better.
Right. It's like there's gonna be people that don't understand how you feel. There's gonna be like frustration because there's not an easy way to explain how you feel. And
for those who aren't in it,
they
just don't get it.
Right.
And it almost feels like if you're in that state or whatever, you're like almost attacking them, or if it can seem like that because your state is so aggressive, and that can like push people away without you wanting that to happen, with you even trying to like go towards them for help, because it's just like you gotta, in order for someone to help, you gotta like jump in this crazy like thunderstorm with me and like figure it out. Because like it's gonna be shitty, but
you're getting good lots of
I like that analogy.
Lots of positive vibes though from the chat, and Mark says he was at a very low point 1 year ago and he started journaling and it's dramatically helped him. You know, getting thoughts. He says getting thoughts out of my head helps clear it, which that's one way. I think sometimes you have to try a bunch of things and see what helps.
Everyone is different.
You know.
I went to a therapist. I don't know. It's probably 14 years ago when I was living in Portland. You know, I went to a therapist just to talk about, like, you know, my whole life I had friends who would always just kind of beat me down, be like, this is why you're like this, you know, you know what your problem is and stuff like that. Like, I had that same group of friends forever. And so, and they would be like, oh, you need to get on medication. It's like, okay, do I? Yeah. So, you know, I went to a therapist to deal with, you know, stuff that was going on with my life and stuff. And it's like, just being able to get that out there helped a whole lot. You know, it didn't make, you know, being depressed easier, you know, but, you know, it helped a little bit, you know, and still to this day, like, I don't know. I feel like I have these bouts as well, you know, where it's like, especially with two kids, you know, one who's actively defiant against me and the other one who's less than a year old, who wakes up at 4:45 a.m. every morning, you know. But yeah, I do think that talking with people, being on our podcast and getting those things out, does help.
No, I mean,
I don't know.
Like Dryden's saying, you know, opening up, talking about it. VJ's talking about meditation. There's meditation options.
Yeah.
Again, that's another.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's another way to go about it. Interestingly enough, it's almost like, I mean, I climbed out of it. It was a long road. It took me years. You know. You know, it affected me mentally, physically, everything. You know, I had a lot of chronic pain that stemmed from where I was at. Like, my doctors were like, you're having all of this chronic pain in all of your joints and we can't figure it out. And the best we can figure is it is literally stress induced from your situation. But then you climb out of it. And what's weird to me is once you're in that situation and it starts to get better, I feel like the way that you start to recognize that you're on the mend is your brain starts to wonder, am I supposed to be upset about something right now? Like, it's this weird thing. Like,
you're just like, why am I happy?
Yeah.
Why am I?
It's counterintuitive. It's like all of a sudden I woke up one day and I'm like, I should be worried about something right now. Like something's supposed to be wrong and it's not, and I'm not used to that.
And knowing you, Dave, that is a constant.
That's the anxiety that comes after.
It's that anxiety. It's like there's always something that's got to be addressed or fixed, or I got to do this thing, and I'm stressed out. And then when it's not there, you're like, wait a minute. Everything's fine. You know, and it's like, it's almost like when you start to have those little bits and feelings like something's supposed to be wrong, but it's not. It's like, that's almost your sign that things are getting better.
Yeah. I used to live in a very different way than I do now, I think. Like, I gave no shits whatsoever. Like, I did not care what I was like going to do, like where I got to. Like, I had certain goals in mind and stuff. Like, this was back when I was playing music and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, I was just, like, out. And I was just, like, just seeing what happened. And, like, whatever happens. And it's kind of like the woo, like, if, you know, the universe kind of, like, makes my path for me. And I'm just going to walk it, like, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just do it and, like, live your life happy. And I've been trying to get back to that point for so long that, like, it feels like super abstract to me at this point, to where, like, it's almost like a parallel universe instead of something like behind me, to where, like, I can't really, like, jump across. So I'm trying to figure out what was so different back then in my mindset and what I was doing to now. I mean, obviously a big one is the pain.
Yeah.
But there's like a different person there, and right now I feel at least there's like either a change in my personality because of going through this physical pain and stuff like that, or there's just like a built up like second voice that has just come just because of having to maybe deal with this type of stuff as maybe like a therapeutic thing. But it's almost negative in a way to where it's unhelpful. But it almost seems like it's like you're kind of protecting yourself in a way too. If you're trying to like hide yourself away, like don't talk to anybody because they're going to bring up something that's just going to upset you, or don't go on the internet. Like don't.
Or you're going to get FOMO about something, or you're going to you're going to see people's art that they're posting every day on Instagram and be frustrated.
And it's just going to make it worse. But then you're like, well, what do I do? Like, how am I going to live?
Yeah.
If I'm not just going to like go out and do things, I need to like actually, like you said, crawl out of this pit. But like, there's like a lot of rain that like falls down that pit and makes it like really slippery. Time. It's
the parallel universes thing. It's really funny you said that, because I thought about that all the time when I was going through it. I was like, I feel like I'm at a crossroads in a parallel universe, and I'm going to go one direction or another. I think I mentioned that to Matt when we were at Half Res. We were walking somewhere, and I was like, I'm at this crossroads, and it's like,
I wonder where Evil Dave is now.
Yeah.
Where did Evil Dave go? Yeah, I'm lucky I was able to even keep things running during that. And you were doing not just that, but you're running multiple businesses as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I do my best to help my wife out with her business and what she's doing, but everything I've basically throughout this pain, like building up throughout time, I've had to like take away things that I've wanted to do, like the From Below, like clothing thing that I wanted to do and started, but I didn't have enough energy. I don't really I get maybe like 40 hours of sleep a week, maybe. It's just like, or not 40, what am I even saying? Like,
I was about to
12.
say, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. But like, I'm hardly getting any sleep, just because of the pain that's kind of like
that,
going on.
And that alone can be just debilitating.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't even think
creativity.
most of the time.
Yeah. It's
it just.
Do you no, go ahead. I'll rephrase.
No, it's just it makes it to where you can't even really make decisions clearly. You don't really know what your day is going to be. You can't plan it out. Like, it's very limited as far as like how far your thinking process can go out. And even memory. My memory has just plummeted. Like, I'm like a freaking goldfish right now. Like, I am pretty bad.
And I imagine if you take medication for everything too, that doesn't help with that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some like things. I've tried to stay away from, like the bad, painkiller type shit.
Oh yeah, like the opiates and stuff.
Yeah, so I just smoke as much as I can, and
I mean, it's
like the only thing that really allows me to at least function.
Right.
It can take away some of the pain, but mostly it's just like allowing me to not care as much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine that doing the other business too was not easy in 2020 with lockdowns and things like that.
Yeah, right? It was very weird because we have a split salon. We have it with rental stylists and commission stylists, where the rental stylists are actually like renting the booth in the salon, and the commission actually works as employees for us. So it's like a double management thing on what the rental people were allowed to do, since we're more property management in that area, and what the commission people were allowed to do during that whole like Corona fiasco on
Yeah, I was gonna say
we're not allowed
Matt,
to do.
You might want to turn your camera off.
I was just
and on.
about to text
you're
you
like Christmas
and
tree
say-
lighting. Just turn your camera off and on. Freaking Skype compression, man. That's funny. There we go.
I went all Picasso.
Yeah, you went all Picasso.
Yeah, Mitch, I was gonna ask you about that because like I was worried for you and your family, especially I know you guys had some salons, and that's like the COVID stuff. Gosh, it had to have been hard.
Yeah, it was more like stressful than anything. Luckily, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah,
it was just like a little tight, and I was just freaking out the whole time because I wasn't working.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a client that I felt comfortable enough to take on the project, because I basically have to lay it out at this point, like this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Some days are this, some days are that, and we got to be kind of fluid with it. And most clients, I couldn't find any that wanted to work with me last year, so
yeah,
I kind of just had to support her as much as I could. And yeah, it sucks. Like I feel like I could always do more on that side. But I'm always limited too. I always got to like remind myself that, because some days I like push myself like way too far, and the next day I'm just like
feeling it. Yeah,
totally out.
Yeah.
Well, this might be a good opportunity to get into crypto art, because you could just kind of do anything at your own pace, that whenever you felt like it.
Yeah.
And,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think something like that would probably be my only choice up to this point.
Have you considered doing any like a producer role or something?
I just don't know. I don't know. I don't feel confident enough. I don't know. I guess because my energy is just not there. I feel just very subhuman, I guess, like I don't have near as much as I should, which makes me feel, I don't know, it just makes me feel shitty taking people's money too. Because I'm like, I'm just not doing as good as I can because of all this stuff.
Right.
But it's just like, here you go.
Don't beat yourself down because of that. Like, definitely, I would say don't beat yourself down for the things that you can't control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's always the hardest part.
Yeah. And Tesla Rock was saying in the chat, stress can amplify the pain, and if you don't have stress already, then you start stressing about everything that comes with the pain, and full circle is right there. Yeah. In the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, I mean, I only read like the first chapter or two. I got where he was going with it. But like, he does talk about that, where it's like you worry about one thing, and then that leads to another thing, and that leads to another thing, and then that leads you back to the original thing. And you keep going around in this cyclical stress cycle, and that's hard to break.
Yeah, you can't really see a way out after that, because
the thing that he talked about in the book was you just have to focus on the things that are most important in your life. And and I was especially going through during COVID and everything, like I got mega super depressed about everything, because it's a stupid reason to be depressed. I mean, I understood my kid was acting up all the time, and we had a less than 1 year old. So that was very stressful. And then having everyone home in and working from home, it's like you go to your office and you work, and you can't have a bunch of distractions and stuff like that. And it's like, when they're all home, there's distractions all the time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I got super depressed because of that. And when I kind of read through those first couple chapters, it's like, what was most important in my life? The most important thing in my life were my wife and kids. And anything outside of that, I can figure my way around, So that kind of helped me. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that has anything to do similar with your situation.
That's basically just what my wife says over and over and over again to me. It's just
Yeah.
like you can only control what you can control.
Yeah.
Other than that, it just needs to be, like out of your hands. It's just like I can do what I can do, and like just other than that, you don't have to worry about that stuff. You just worry about like, the important things in your life, like wife and kids, and doing stuff with them. Like luckily, this past year we did end up taking like an RV. Just to like a campsite, just so we wouldn't be like out in crowds and stuff. We
That's fun.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was like really cool, and I felt great, just like being away and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, that's just if you're depressed, man, just try stuff. That's like I think the biggest thing is to never just like stay still, because it's never gonna work.
And, you don't want to just sit around watching TV all day. It's gonna surfing Facebook.
Yeah. Not gonna make nothing better.
Yeah. One thing that my therapist told me was, and I don't know if this helps at all, but it will help with people who are dealing with people who are depressed. It's like, as much as you want to help the person, my therapist once said, there's nothing you can do or say in order to change someone else's mind. They have to want to do it on their own. So like I'm sure you've gotten this before, the really shitty response of, well, just stop being depressed. Like that's the worst.
Or just like, I don't understand, because you like what, like the big thing about my wife, at least what she was getting was, like, what is it about, us or what your life is that is so bad, like, and that like was just like soul crushing to me, because it's not like I have an amazingly blessed life.
Yeah.
So like, why, why do I feel that way?
Yeah.
And it was something that, it actually like goes along with that, because I was trying to explain to her that when I was especially going through this deep pit moment, I didn't need anybody to try to talk me through it, or like tell me about good things in life, or that other people have it worse. Like that's not what what I need at that time is just someone to be in that like space of pain with me, just like just sit there and just like just let it kind of like be in the moment, and then it can kind of just like open from there. But like I feel that everyone says like, talk it out and stuff like that, but
or like VJ says in the chat, like they'll say, well, you can just get over it.
Just get over it. There's like a very certain specific way that I think each individual needs in order to like get that switch for them to realize that their reality isn't the reality of like the masses, you know what I mean? Like the world in a whole with the people in it, I think is generally like a good place. There's like some shit people that do shit things, but
there's a lot of shit people.
But like I can have like a happy life, and like there has been so much happiness before, so like it's been there, so it can be there again. And so you just got to keep reminding yourself that it's just like, it's not going to be like this forever, and things change so dramatically.
Time is a healer.
Definitely.
There was a point, and going back to that whole, what should I be worried about or whatever, like there was a point last week where was sitting at the dinner table and in my new house with my girlfriend and my daughter's at the table, and we're having dinner together, and I was just like, man, I'm really happy right now. It's just this weird thing. It's like, wow, like this, like I'm actually feeling something.
Get some dopamine finally.
Right. It takes a while to get back to that place. But I was also going to ask you, about just kind of the industry in general. You know, what do you feel as far as the industry in general right now that people need to know, or maybe people need to change? What are you not happy with in the industry right now that you feel could be better?
I mean, the industry is, when I think of the industry, I just think of like, you know, like the people that I've met, like you guys and, you know, all the people in the Slack channel, like the artists group and stuff like that. Like generally, like everyone has always been like mad helpful and, you know, supportive, especially when you ask for it. You know, everyone's kind of like been there. This year has just been so different because even though we have, you know, the Slack channels and stuff like that, it still felt so much more disconnected.
It did.
At least, And I don't know. To me, it's just my situation because I have felt a little like left behind, just because I haven't been able to be as productive as I used to be and stuff like that. So it's more so just like frustration with how can I make my situation work to where it works with the industry, you know, because I want to be in it, you know, I want to do this stuff. Like it's really not my choice to take this year off if I didn't have all this stuff that I really need to figure out before I can be successful.
It could be a blessing in disguise,
right?
And that's always
like,
you know,
maybe I really need to like chill. Maybe something will pop up. You'd be like, yeah, that's perfect, or something going. You know, who knows?
Help you be creative or come up with ideas, or even discover something that you. I mean, hell, like if it doesn't
work
have to
on
be
a short film.
or
who knows?
Because it's something you can do at your own pace, or even, you know, no matter what it is, even crypto art, whatever it is, like you could discover something new that is more self-paced and can be something that you wouldn't have gotten into or discovered if you hadn't been where you are.
Yeah. I think I've been running around in circles for too long, just worrying about all those little things that come up and never having a time to sit down and relax and actually like regroup myself. And I think it's just like snowballed into a space to where this time that I'm going to take, I think, is just a space to clear my head and really start over without, you know, any expectations for myself. Hopefully that will limit, you know, those negative voices and things like that whenever I get productive again, hopefully. And then maybe I'll have like better tools, you know, in my set to help me along the way and make me a little more successful and keep those shitty things a little less shitty, you know what I mean?
For sure.
You could learn more about quantum physics in the meantime. Just study up.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you go into. Who knows?
I'll be like a super scientist or something.
You'll discover like the God particle or something, you know?
Right.
That'd be tight.
Matt's frozen.
I think we're all frozen right now.
Matt, turn your camera off and on. I don't know why everything's buggy today. I'm telling you, the whole internet.
Yeah.
The whole internet is,
There we go. I lost what I was going to say earlier before the freeze. But you could discover something you never knew, and I know hindsight's 20/20 and whatnot, but you'll look back and be like, oh, well, that path makes sense.
I think just giving myself some freedom, and I'm so lucky that I actually get to make that choice, I guess. You know, I'm really lucky that I'm not stuck at a job where I'm forced to just be in pain all day and you know, do that. So like,
if you were
super blessing right there.
Commute every day on top of all of that and work for the man. I know what I was going to say. We have these Julie and I have these do nothing days where we decide, and we have to schedule them out because it's really hard to do. It's really hard to find a day where you're going to literally do nothing. But it's so funny because as soon as I take a day off to do absolutely nothing, all I can think about is how I want to do something. And all I want to do is have these off days, and then I'm there, and I'm like, all right, I've been watching TV for 8 hours, and now what do I do? And even like through, you know, the quote unquote like slow part of the holidays, like after Christmas into New Year's, no one's doing anything, nothing's happening. It's like I cannot sit and like I'm doing stuff with the fam and whatnot, but there's still like another 8 hours of the day to fill.
Yeah.
Where everybody's just kind of chilling and doing whatever, and I cannot sit on my butt and watch movies. Like I'm like, I'm just gonna go to my office and do something constructive.
Yeah, I've had a hard time lately at night trying to find something to watch. You know, I feel like I've watched so much TV.
Watched all the
that it's
things
like,
during COVID.
and I'll start a show and I'll be like, within
Meh.
like 10 minutes, I'm like, not interested. All right, you know.
Same with video games. If it's not like the handful of video games that I play on a regular basis, it's like I'll start enjoying the texturing and the look and the 3D of the game so much that it makes me want to just go to my computer and make something.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I started playing Cyberpunk, and it took me an hour before I even was shooting anything.
Right.
And then it's like I gave up.
Yeah.
I went and did something else.
I haven't played it much.
Yeah,
I need to.
I can't
but, you know.
sit more than 10 minutes on games anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm usually just like, standing around like trying to figure out what I can do anyway, because I'm like at the house all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay, what is there to do? Sometimes when I'm like working, especially when I'm in my office, I feel like I'm like ignoring my family, which like makes me feel like shit too.
Right.
I got you. I get you
Yeah.
there. I get you there. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be like, you have to be able to flip a switch and say, this is what I would be doing if I had to get in the car and go to work today.
Right. That's
Yeah.
like such a hard thing to do. And I've been trying to do that for so long.
And
Yeah.
take comfort in the fact that you can stop if you need to and go downstairs,
Yeah.
take a break, take a 15 or whatever, say hi to everybody. That's stuff you couldn't do if you worked at a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Or
It's the
eat
best
lunch
thing
together.
about being a freelancer or an independent contractor.
Or take
it's
the afternoon off and then come back at night and work when everyone goes to sleep. You have that flexibility. But yeah, so I was also going to ask you earlier last year, I think it's all a blur now. You posted some ginormous freaking computer that you got, and I want to know more about it.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
Yeah, so that was a fiasco with Origin because I was building the computer with them, and long story short, they put a motherboard in there that wasn't compatible with the graphics cards that I wanted, even though they were telling me over and over again that I was wrong and they were compatible. So that was like a thing where I had to like send it back and forth, and I ended up just getting pissed off and getting my money back and building it myself with one of my friends named DJ. He's in a awesome band around here, and he's like just like a whiz at building computers, so I got lucky in that sense. So we just ordered, I got 3 Titan RTX Golds,
Nice.
and I got a Threadripper and a ton of RAM. It's just like a big ass like server rack, and I got like a bunch of like fans and stuff. Like it's like an ice box. It's sweet.
That's cool.
So when you are creating stuff, what have you been messing with lately? Like what's your fun like toy? Is it X particles? Is it like what do you
I've
play
actually
with?
been trying to figure that out because since going through this weird change, I've been also wondering about like my creative style and what I'm putting out, and if it's like really representative of me at this point, or if I even enjoy creating in that direction. So I'm at this point to where I'm kind of just like fucking around until I see something that I want to do like every day again. And like simulations, doing like a bunch of soft body stuff has been fun. Everyone likes like all those little like goopy blobs and shit. But those are always. But yeah, I'm playing around at this point because that's what I did in the beginning. I just like got on my computer and I just like whatever, just messed around with stuff. Didn't care if I made anything. It was more of like an exploratory education type thing, and that always served me really well.
Like a Chris Schmidt type thing. Chris just gets in and just plays.
Yeah. That's what I used to do, and I think that's something that I need to get back doing because I think it'll give me more. what's that? Like
some more
what's the word? I
motivation
can't
or something.
Yeah, motivation and even just like perception for like what you actually want to create. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's that whole thing that we've been mentioning on the show from time to time too, is that whole backwards concept of that you're going to get inspired and that's going to motivate you to take action when really you need to take action and that's going to motivate the inspiration. So like you may not get inspired sitting on the couch, but if you actually just sit down and you start playing with something, then that might inspire you to do something. I mean, I like where this is going. I should do a render, you know?
Yeah. I've found out every trick that I know from doing that. Like I've never figured out something that surprised me from like grinding a client project out because I'm trying to like shit.
Yeah, client projects, you're just like, I'm gonna do it and do what I can to get it out the door. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna go down an 8-hour rabbit hole of experimentation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I've done a few 8-hour rabbit hole in experimentation.
Me too.
yeah,
That's every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think that's just what I need to do too. Just mess around.
yeah,
That's what I can do.
yeah. And you've got your new pack update, right? It's the Planet.
Yeah,
Pack
I told
2.
everyone that I was gonna like release it, and it's been like 2 years. So I was like, I need to finish that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this past year, since like the client work was kind of like dim, I just tried to grind that out. But it was cool. It was really fun. Like I figured out a lot of new things too that I didn't know when I was first building that V2 previously. But I also want to put out some more like free stuff for that, like some exoplanet packs and like asteroids and pulsars and weird spaceship. Probably will be fun.
Cool.
What are the big updates?
So basically,
I'm gonna try and bring it up
I
here.
just updated the textures. I did a lot of like artificial intelligence help with getting those textures up-resed to a state where you could like really get some fine detail.
Yeah.
And I played with the project files a lot. A lot of the things in the project files are totally different. I got like a new espresso setup and you can mess around with all the rotations, like the clouds and the auroras and the sun rotation, color, camera, all that stuff can be just messed with in the little espresso kit that I made for it, and you can animate all that stuff. So it's a little easier to use too.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm bringing
You
it
got
up.
the
On this.
obligatory black hole.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
The famous.
We got some
Yeah.
new black holes in there that you can mess with and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
bringing this up right now. Yeah, you can see that. That's one of them, right?
Yeah, that was one of like the first Mars renders.
Tell us about
Hey.
your rebrand as well. Your new name.
Yeah, so that was something that was going on last summer where I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to keep taking on clients as a freelancer or if I wanted to create something more of like an umbrella situation that I can work under.
Yeah.
And have a little more control on like the back ends without being so face to face with the client as far as just, like me as the face of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was trying to create like an agency that I could potentially build into something that I could take on larger projects and work with friends with it and hopefully not have to use, my personal branding.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But that was really just me trying to figure out last year on what's going to make me the most money. I thought that I could make this little change and I could get some clients in that were more standalone clients than agency clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that didn't happen, I tried to put it together and it just didn't really work out whenever it got pushed out. But like the branding is dope as shit, and I like the website and like all the stuff that I did for it was fun, which is I love branding stuff. It's just like always a thing to do.
And of course, like I can't even get things. Gosh, there's so many gremlins today. What is the deal? You can't get Vimeo to load now.
Did Kim Kardashian break the internet again?
I guess so. Man.
But it's kind of in limbo right now because just with this stuff, I'm not really sure. If I go into crypto or something like that, I'll probably just do my personal branding because that makes more sense.
Yeah. Man, I think
it's kind of out there. Yeah. It's definitely something I'll look into.
Yeah.
I just I didn't know anything about it until the Beeple thing, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Did you pick anything up?
What is that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know what was going on. I've been out of the loop this like whole year, you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you should go listen to the episode with Winkleman from a few weeks ago. It was right before he dropped that big one. It's the 3.5 million. Some of you, if you don't realize, Mitch worked on this the After Effects splash screen from what year was that? 2-3 years ago?
2018, I think.
Yeah. I like this right here. I think it's funny. Your tab. Did you notice the tab change? When it says Mitch Myers, if you go to another tab, it says, "Hey, come back and book me" in the tab.
That's funny.
That's a great idea. I like that.
That is funny.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, anything in particular that you're thinking about doing moving forward now, or is it just kind of just see where it goes? Is that pretty much the plan?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to back away from like the client stuff for a second, and just do what I want, really. Just get on the computer from certain days and learn stuff and see what I can make, and maybe something will come along to where like it's just like another kind of spark of passion that I can ride on, and then create a path from there. And that's what I'm hoping. And then hopefully get this pain thing done, and maybe I can be like productive and feel more like a actual human, and that'd be awesome.
You'll get it. You'll get there.
I noticed.
I know it. I feel it.
You're wearing a Super Nintendo shirt, and I'm wearing a Nintendo shirt.
Dude,
that's funny.
We just need Matt. Do you have an N64 shirt you can go put on real quick?
No, I'm wearing my Corona render shirt.
So we aren't going to do Mograph Recommends with you because I think you were the first person we did Mograph Recommends with a while back.
I think so. Yeah. Do you have? Now we do have to ask one question though, Dave.
Yeah.
We do have to ask one question
about the life hack.
Do you have a new life hack?
Yeah.
Because we always use yours as an example.
Every week we talk about turning the toaster on its side for some bomb-ass grilled cheese. So.
Yeah.
And I did it once, and I sent you a photo.
Yeah. Let's see, man. Oh.
I'll let you think about it. And we'll do some links.
Yeah, let's do some links.
Yeah, let me think about it.
Cool.
I know there's something that's going to pop up, though. I've been, like, walking around my house with nothing to do for too long. I'm sure I figured out something.
I'll be right back. I got to let my dog
wants
in.
to know if there's anything that we can do as a community to help in any way. Is there anything we can do to help you? Or?
I mean, I think just voicing just your openness to be there for people, I mean, is always helpful, you know, because I think a lot of people who are suffering from depression don't really see a way out, and some of them might not even have anybody around them to even try to help them. So like even just someone being there to seem like somebody is there for you or cares for you is such a big thing, even if it's just like a minor like message like, hey, what's up? Like, are you doing good? What's going on? Like that is really helpful to someone with like really negative thoughts going on. It can really like block those off at least for a little bit. So I mean like that's something like super simple that like everyone can do. It's just like check in with your friends, you know.
That's something that I do enjoy about having Slack, is that at least being quarantined and away from everybody, I feel like we're at least still able to chat, talk with each other, keep up with what everybody's doing, and feel like we're not completely disconnected. And the community is just so good, and we're trying to keep that feel. And we're also trying, as we grow, we're trying not to become too corporate-y in a sense, to where like it doesn't feel like we're really trying to find the best way to maintain the sense of community, because it's just so important. It's just, we're 1,083 artists now in the Slack channel, and it still feels small in that like everybody's still like a small close-knit group of artists, just talking to each other, very positive, very helpful to each other. None of that, oh well, I figured this out, but I'm not going to tell you because this is proprietary. Right.
Or if they think that, they don't say it.
Right.
Well,
I think most people in the industry have good intentions. Everyone is really out there just to try to make like the best stuff they can and have fun. That's the way it should be.
Totally.
But there's always those things that make the having fun a lot harder. And so we just need to be there for each other. It's always good to have friends.
Yeah. So I'll go through the links here real quick. Keep thinking about that life hack. So Travis Davids, if you don't know who Travis Davids is, check it out. Some of his stuff you can actually download with Aryev's course. He put out a tutorial on how he created a fire and smoke animation using Embergen, Cinema 4D, and Octane. So Embergen, see, that's one of those things. Like Embergen, I'll probably play with it more once it's like native to Cinema 4D and all of that.
It's pretty cool. The times that I played with it, it's like it's very easy to get into. Yeah,
it's very fun.
I'm excited for it to be integrated fully. But it's fun to play with.
That's one of those things where it's like you don't have to set out with doing anything in particular. You just open this program and play with real-time explosions.
How cool is it to make it like explosions?
Right?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And you add the real time to it, and it's just like, man, once this is in Cinema 4D fully, and you could just like, and you can open that up with Brigade and see like real time rendered. Oh man,
that'd be insane.
I can't wait. So check out Travis David's video on that. Also, I was showing y'all before the show, this is nothing to do with like actual art or animation or anything, but there are these VHS pillows that I found online.
They're really cool.
Yeah, and you could just like they're throw pillows, and they have all these different kinds. It's like some of them look like the actual VHS cassette, but then some of them look like the case for them, and it's just like such nostalgia looking at these because they made them look like the actual brands. Like I forget
that's so funny
what brand this was with like the little colored sphere on it, but I know I can't. What brands were there back then? I don't even remember.
That's Kodak right there.
This is Kodak.
Yeah. One of them's got to be Fuji.
This one with the dot on it. I remember these were expensive. And then you had the ones that were like the T160s, the ones that were like, you had the high grade VHS, like it was, like right here, HQ, high quality rated. It's so funny. High quality.
Then you put that on EP mode, and it's like, I can get 8 hours of recording on it. It's going to look like balls, but...
Yeah. It was great. But, check that out. Then also from VJ School, Audio Reactive Loop in Unreal and Touch Designer. I thought this is interesting. There's no Cinema 4D or anything, it's all rendered real time, rendered in Unreal real time. And mixing with Touch Designer is such a great process. There's just so much potential what you could do with Unreal and Touch Designer together using like OSC and things. So it's like this, it's a loop. It's kind of one of those like loop tunnels that you go through, that you see people do on Instagram or whatever. You're going, it's just like a VJ loop, but it's reactive to audio in real time. And so I think VJ in the chat will probably be interested in this. And
Chris H said Scotch tape. That was the sphere one.
oh yes, Scotch. Yeah, it's funny. Spencer Clark put out on Gumroad powder brushes, C4D plus X particles. Great little screenshot too. You can check that out. It's kind of these pre-made thing to do powder brushes. And
cool.
Also on Gumroad, another one that I think Rad Science has posted yesterday in the Slack. This is Jing Sketch's Procreate brushes. It's a collection of Procreate brushes. There's some great Procreate brushes out there if you get into Procreate, you know. So yeah, check those out. Those are all my links. That's all I got, but I feel like
Dave's links.
I haven't done like links like that in a while. I've been kind of I've been slacking because I've been busy this year doing other things, so I don't have all the cool links as often. But there you go,
Dave. I was just looking at the Nifty Gateway, the crypto art that people sold, and the Bull Run one that we sold.
Yeah.
We did well because that one is the lowest priced one right now.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, the lowest price is $4,500 for it. You know,
pretty good. What
but Into the Ether, we sold it for like $3,500.
What are ours up to? The ones that we own.
So the Into the Ether, that one's $6,900.
Really?
Yeah, wow. And then Infected is $5,200.
And what is the highest selling price for Into the Ether?
Into the Ether?
Yeah.
Let's go highest price.
That is, number do I have?
Into the Ether number 62 is $1,048,576, which I don't know why.
That's for sale for. That's not sold for.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
When you look at the main info page, it will show like what's the highest sale that it's had.
Yeah, let me look. Okay, so the secondary market average amount is 299,000. That's the average sale.
That's the average sale is 299,000.
That's what it says, but something must have
skewed that.
Something skewed that bad, I'm sure.
What number was that?
Let's see,
I have number 8.
I know you do. I'm jealous of that. The number 4 sold for 114,000.
So
no, that's not average cost. That's how much it's made in the secondary market. Average resale price is almost 7,000.
Okay, so, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll go up when the physical copies come out?
Oh, it's got to.
Stands and everything. It's got Everybody's going to be posting their
pictures.
Look cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited about that. I knew. I have a feeling Infected is going to be worth more than the other two because there's less of them. You know.
Maybe.
That's the whole reason I chose it, because I knew there was going to be less.
I'm interested to see where it goes long term.
Yeah,
Speaking of which,
I am actually very surprised that the prices have been going up.
Yeah.
You know, like that is a good sign for this crypto market because the prices are going up. Like I thought after the sale, like you give it like a month and like people are going to be trying to get rid of them, you know, but that's a really good sign.
All right.
See? Need to get Mitch's work on Nifty. Come on, Mitch.
Sure.
So I guess I didn't realize this. We were talking last night on our Halo chat. You have to be invited to Nifty. You don't apply to Nifty. I didn't realize that.
Oh.
Whereas like Super Rare, you apply.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
High class.
Yeah, I think Ariev could make a killing on it too.
Yeah. I bet.
But speaking of Beeple, it's time for Beeple's People.
Oh, we're doing a Beeple's People,
yeah, because we don't have Mograph recommends today, so we're gonna do that instead before we go.
All right, that's a good idea.
Work? All right, first of all, I would like to say that this is pretty cool. Somebody painted Mike Winkleman on.
Oh, so cool!
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah.
Who is it? Lush sucks.
If you're late to the game on this dude, like I was, definitely go check him out. MF is straight crushing. Did a mural of his profile picture from Twitter, sticking his tongue out.
I love that it's the profile picture of him, like. like getting beat up or something. I don't even know what the
like
story
an
is.
allergic reaction or something.
That's so awesome. But take out your Beeple viewer of choice. Mine is Twitter. And we're going to start out December 29th, Year of our Lord 2020. I'm going to go down here, and it is called Dance, I believe. Just scroll through all the nipples and things till I find it.
Okay.
So there's...
Dude, this video looked so fake.
Oh, from
It's
Boston Dynamics?
weird.
Not Beeple's video, the Boston Dynamics.
Not Beeple's video.
So Boston Dynamics released a new video of their like biped robots dancing and stuff, right? And
yeah,
that was weird.
It does. It looks so fake. And
it's weird, like when they jump. Like it feels like the gravity is wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
It's because a jump for them is them bringing up their knees and putting them back down. If they're not like pushing up and jumping, it is more as they're like making their knees go up and down, like they're doing a knee slap exercise.
It's like the strangest thing I've ever seen. I had to like watch it over and over because my mind was like, I felt like I wasn't processing it correctly.
Right. But I love that Winkleman took those and like made a daily out of it, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is
a stripper pole Boston Dynamics. It's so great.
So would this, where in the Beeple verse, where would this be?
Well,
would this which
this
which
is what
Beeple
I was going to
verse
say is I don't think that there's a difference between the Beeple verse and Beeple's social commentary, right?
Okay,
and
okay,
so
yeah, I like that.
I'm going to show you the difference.
This is current day. This is Earth. So social commentary is Earth.
Right. I think
it's just a different timeline.
The more we get into this, the more Beeple is actually involved in his own universe in the future.
Right.
So this is his own commentary now, but he's also rendering the future when Beeple's people are trying to figure out where the original Beeple came from and where the original Earth actually is, where Beeple came from.
He's like that dude from Heroes.
You got to remember.
He paints the future.
Yeah, you got to remember, it's been thousands and thousands of like millennia. And all the humans at this point have all scattered to other planets through these portals. And so finding the original Earth where Beeple existed is not going to be easy. And this is Beeple now in this photo. Yeah. But the Beepleverse photos are in the future where Beeple's people, the original followers of Mike Winkleman, are trying to figure out where he originally came from and where his art originated.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's very meta.
Deep.
So that being said, let's go to December 30th, which is called Moon Farm. And this, it would be in
classic
the
Beeple
verse, right? So like this is, I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be on the moon, I'm thinking, because like you can see the Earth above.
Yeah. So they're terraforming it, of course.
Terraform the moon. It's got grass.
Yeah.
But you got to have these big cell tower things on it in order to pick up internet from Earth.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to transmit that. And then like, and then there's Beeple's sheeple down at the bottom all around it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you choose that one just for that joke? You had it written down.
No, I literally just came up with that.
Okay, that's good.
All right,
I'm proud of you, Dave.
That being done, he did a couple, like dumpster fire, 2020
I like
sucks,
January
everything.
1st. I thought that one was good.
Yeah, but January 2nd, now I got to say this again because Year of Our Lord 2021, got to say that for the first time. Right. He's got 30K on January 2nd.
Right.
And 30K.
That was when Bitcoin hit over 30,000.
Yeah, Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 30,000 so quick. He did
this one wasn't animated, was it?
Oh, man. Oh, now you've done it. Now you've done it. He's going to go back and animate it just for that.
Nah.
Oh, man. Could you imagine? And you put some techno music to it.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. I can see it now.
Yeah, totally. Just make it highly sexual or something. I don't know. Some wow chicka wow music in there, and Bitcoin is.
Then he did an Ethereum one too. Yeah.
And then he did the Ethereum one. This is yesterday, January 3rd. If you
cool.
I love the old school car here whatever that
Right?
is. Now, notice there's a little bumper sticker on this car right here.
What's it say?
Hot Pockets.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm pretty sure. Right?
Sure.
I need more hidden David Brodeurs.
Yeah. Enhance.
Enhance. That won't work.
I can't get any closer.
No.
I'll have to save it and open it. I'm pretty sure that's a Hot Pockets bumper sticker, though. Yeah, but this one, it doesn't actually have any symbols or anything.
Yeah.
You know, if you saw this, you wouldn't think it had to do with anything with Ethereum. Like the other one, you could tell it's Bitcoin. But I don't know what that means. If Ethereum's blowing up, why are the crystals coming out? This is almost mixing.
Ethereum, their little logo is like the little crystals, the crystal thing.
Oh, is that why?
Into the ether. So, into the ether, how it's got that crystal, like that purple crystal.
I did not know that.
All right.
Now it's
just like the Bitcoin has its own logo and stuff.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can, I don't know, I can try and zoom in. Oh, that definitely says Hot Pockets. Yeah. Okay, now I can zoom in. I'll try and bring it up.
Kevin can confirm Hot Pockets.
Can confirm Hot Pockets. Confirmed. Yeah, you can see it right here.
Nice. Love it.
Hot Pockets.
I don't know why he hasn't done work with Hot Pockets yet.
I know.
Yeah.
What are they thinking?
Like,
an enormous opportunity.
Maybe this is. Maybe he gets paid every time he drops the Hot Pockets name.
That's possible. There's some creative marketing genius over at Hot Pockets.
Right.
You can do it, but you just never actually tell anybody that you're working for us. I think
you're under NDA.
Yeah.
You can't tell anyone that you're working for Hot Pockets.
Right. Man.
What are we hoping from people for the next year? What do we think? Because
I think he's going to explore.
I think I keep going back to the because I see it all the time on the Mograph like trailer where people says when we asked him what he was thinking, when he made the first Buzz Lightyear with the boobs thing, and he's like, this is exactly what I should be doing. Yeah. It's like from that point on, that is exactly what he did. Mm-hmm. It's like that was a turning point. He was not joking when he said that. Right. It was, so it's like I'm curious what 2021 has to offer in the Beepleverse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was all nipples and bodily fluids ever since. So.
Right. Yeah.
And lots of Trump stuff. Like I wonder if there's going to be there's got to be something for the inauguration, right? And then
maybe
I don't know.
He could be tired of it though. You never know.
Maybe.
I think maybe he's going to explore more because when we talked to him for the first time, like years ago, and we were really digging into his process, he told us that every year he tries to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to explore it this way. I learned this new thing. For a while, I think it was maybe like modeling. Like there was one year he was trying to explore more with like
I remember that.
trees and all, forest and things. He kind of went on a redshift thing for a while. I don't know. Be interesting to see.
I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's going to keep doing more Bitcoin and Ethereum stuff, though.
Yeah, I want to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I don't have anything else. Mitch, appreciate
let me just say thank you because it's a hard thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's something that we all need to talk about. And so thanks for coming on the show and talking about.
Thanks for letting me talk about it because in some way I'm sure this will be some sort of therapy for me too. Like another way of getting it out there and like letting all my friends know what's up too. So like thanks for letting me just let it out. It's been awesome just to do that.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
Looking forward to talking to you again soon, and I know the community's even in here in the chat is real supportive. So hang out with us in Slack.
I will. I'll keep up to date, and hopefully I'll just keep experimenting, and hopefully I'll just start making some really cool shit. I'll be back.
So cool, man. If people aren't already following you online, where can they find you at?
Yeah, so you can find me, any social network is at Mitch Myers Official.
Okay.
I got a TikTok too now. I'm kind of obsessed with that.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
So
What are you
that's
on
probably-
TikTok?
That's Mitch Myers official.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And the website is mitchmyers.tv, and that's about it right now.
Cool. Yeah. We'll put the links to that in the show notes and everything. And I didn't realize till we were having a conversation the other day. If you want to find show notes, I think we were talking. Who was I talking to on Slack?
You got a GIF as your image? That's cool. I've never seen that.
Yeah, you can upload like video files to like TikTok. There's like a section where you can upload like a video thing.
Nice.
That's cool.
It's like super, I don't know, like janky though. Like I can only get certain videos to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
cool, though.
I forget who I was talking to on the Slack the other day because I've had like, for some reason, a lot of Slack conversations the last few days. But
yeah,
there's like an easy way to get to show notes, but it's easy to get to, but it's hard to find it in the UI. Like if you're on iTunes, you see the podcast full screen and you see all the info, and it doesn't give you any indication that you can scroll down a little bit. But if you scroll down just slightly, you'll see the thing to click on notes for that podcast. Because I know, gosh, I'll have to look it up. Whoever I was talking to was saying that they've got to go to our old website where the podcast is still hosted to find the notes. I'm like, no, you can find it in there and any podcatcher app. Like I use Instacast, so you can just go down and you can see show notes. They'll have all the links to all the things within your podcast app. So it's kind of like saved in there so you can get to them. And also on YouTube, the links are in the description.
Yeah,
on
they're all
the
in the
YouTube
description.
videos. Just letting people know, because I actually spend a lot of time making sure all that stuff is in there.
Yeah.
So hopefully people are looking at these things,
Yeah.
So check that out there. And make sure you check out Monday Meeting as well. That's coming up live in 10 minutes, mondaymeeting.org. And make sure you check them out. And I'll try and go in there and say hi after the show as well. And if you want to follow us, you can rate us on iTunes. First of all, leave a review to help get our ratings up. Subscribe to our newsletter, which goes out every now and then. And you can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Fuel the Bab 2020 shirt, all the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. I'm just realizing now I forgot to update the merch page on the new site to have those 2 new shirts.
I was gonna say.
Just thought about that. But I'll fix that. You can get to them there. The Mograph logo tee, I already said, and Paul Babb, I said the Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee you can pick up. That's my favorite one, and it's in many varieties. We've got them on the American store and the UK store, so hopefully that covers as many people as we can. If you can't get one on either of those stores, let me know. Maybe we can figure something out if you're in a different country. There's the That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear ironically, unless you're shams.
That's your shams.
And the Mograph Blandishment shirt, which is our new one, which I'll put back up on the website. Now, you can always search for this. If it's not on the site, you can search for this on Amazon, and it will come up. Just search for Mograph shirts. And that's it. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, mograph.com. Again, thanks, Mitch, for being on.
Yeah, man.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much.
Cool. Well, we're going to get out of here. Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Mitch.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Peace.
Stand by, everybody.
I almost just hung up the Skype call.
Why you do that?
Which episode was this, Dave? 266?
666.